Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sportsfall Jersey. Joe Archino back here. And in the biggest surprise to nobody, Johnny Manziel has been officially waived by the Cleveland Browns. And it's one of those things where we had been expecting this. This news has been reported for a while. And really, I don't think any of us should have any remorse or just feel any sympathy for Johnny Manziel at this point because he got here on his own. He got here of his own doing, and clearly the kind of trail that he has blazed is the wrong one in every single way. And I've always said this about Johnny Manziel: how do you want to be remembered? And certainly some guys get that message and they understand that 20 years from now, your legacy is going to be built on something, and people are going to remember you by certain things. And right now, Johnny Manziel is blazing the wrong kind of trail, and he's leaving the wrong kind of legacy behind it. The next question is, who's going to take the risk? Who's going to take the gamble? Who's going to give this guy another shot? And in all honesty, I think we are seeing most teams become a little bit smarter when it comes to this. You largely can't change who people are. Yes, sometimes you can, but largely people are who they always are. And Johnny Manziel is just another one of those cases. Come into the draft, you always heard it from everybody saying there's no worries about this kid. He really does love the game. All those things that have been reported, they're really not that big of a concern. But that was wrong. Johnny Manziel never had his priorities straight. It really starts in the early stages of life where he was handed it all. He really never was put in a position where he had to face the challenges and the sheer adversity that it takes to succeed in the NFL. And the biggest thing that inhibits a player like Johnny Manziel from truly succeeding at the next level is work ethic. It's as simple as those two words, work ethic. Ryan Leaf, Johnny Manziel, Jamarcus Russell, players like that don't have the work ethic. In college, their athleticism, their unique talent is able to get by because most of the players they're playing against are not going to be professionals one day. But when those guys make the jump to the next level where the game is faster, the players are smarter, they're stronger, and they're bigger, their skills don't mean as much. Their IQ, their understanding of the game, they're putting in the work to understand NFL concepts, NFL verbiage is what takes them to become a great player who can succeed in the NFL. They just never had that work ethic instilled in them. And Johnny Manziel, again, is one of those players. And really, there are stages to a train wreck. We see them play out many times. Sometimes celebrities just go off the deep end and it just continues to worsen and get worse and worse. And certainly for Johnny Manziel, it's been a little bit of a quiet period since his last incident with the police, but certainly his kind of saga has unfolded quickly before our eyes, and it just looks to continue to get worse and worse. And I think he's untouchable right now. I don't know how you could be a team in the NFL right now and kind of see the landscape of the way that the media world covers things and think for a second that bringing in Johnny Manziel wouldn't be a distraction. I mean, Tim Tebow, what we can largely assume, to the large extent, the reason he's not in the NFL is because causes too much media attention. It's a firestorm. It's all the press talks about. You can't get anything else out of them. It becomes a distraction in itself because of the incredible over coverage. But Johnny Manziel, would it not be the same thing? It would be ESPN. It would be every sports organization out there in the world, in your face, with cameras, 24/7 a day, trying to understand why Johnny Manziel. Why did you give him a second chance? What has he done? And it's certainly one of those things now where I think teams understand that. And aside from if you desire that publicity, I just don't know what Johnny Manziel could possibly bring to the table. And it's difficult to let go because there's always part of the football mind in the GM or in people in an organization that look at what he did at college, look at the unique skill set that he brings, and says, well, what about us? What if our system, what if we can put him in that position? What if we can straighten it out right? But sometimes it can't happen. It's not doable. Some people just don't have the mental capacity or the work ethic or just their priorities in order enough to put the sacrifices aside to do the things that matter. And I think Johnny Manziel, clearly that was always the case for him, and his legacy with the Browns is not much to really even write home about. I mean, I think I saw a stat just this morning that out of all the Heisman Trophy winners who've been first round picks, he has the fewest in almost every statistical category. And certainly, I don't think that comes as to a surprise as anybody. The mere fact that we got all this information about him heading into the draft, things like that his father offered to buy him a car in high school if he didn't drink for one of his years there, is very telling to me. All of the evidence, all the writing on the walls told me that the Johnny Manziel thing was not going to work in the NFL. And the mere fact that the Browns, who really have had a consistent pattern of not getting the right guy, tells me even more about why this thing wasn't going to work. And clearly, it did not work, and the Browns have turned the page. And now we kind of check the next chapter for the Browns, where they're kind of in the mix, where it seems like they're all over the place with the rumors of Colin Kaepernick, potential that there's an interest there for a trade, or Ryan Fitzpatrick, or if they're going to draft a guy in this upcoming draft. Many things need to happen, but it's the Browns, like the Dolphins were a couple seasons ago, are the ultimate example of it doesn't matter how good the roster you put around you is. It doesn't matter until you get that quarterback. And certainly they've been searching as long as anybody for that quarterback, but Johnny Manziel was not the guy, and they have moved on. I think for every team in the NFL, the best case scenario, just move on from Johnny Football. Until next time, though, Jersey Joe Archino here with the Sports Vault. You can follow me on Twitter at Joe Archino and on Instagram, Jersey_Joe_Archino. And I'll see everybody next time.